Certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
It's another wonderful day on the program, Woman to Woman. At this Sawage, your total woman. We did say the last time we met on this platform that we're going to have a part 2 of the topic that we started, which is building confidence in our girls, building confidence in the girl child, thereby, building a stronger generation of women to come. You and I know that being a woman, being a female, is a lot already, not to come and add all of the problems in this life. On top of that, being a woman again. All right, so we'll continue from where we stopped last week. And unfortunately, Mercy could not be with us today. But Favor Eniye Omerige stay with us. She's a nurse, she's a mother, she's a mentor, she's a pastor. And of course, she's a woman who does quite a number of things for the girl child. Favor, nice to have you join me again.
Thank you very much. Good.
Are you equal to the task today? Mercy's not around.
Very well, very well.
All right, I'm happy to hear that. So
Thank you.
Last week we talked about inspiring the girl child, trying to build confidence in the girl child, trying to make the girl child very assertive, to be a woman, so that the next generation of girls will be very strong. So we stopped at trying to make a girl assertive. Now, let me paint a scenario for you. Sometimes a girl wants to say no, but she's compelled to say yes to some things that she doesn't like. Let's look at sexual advances, for instance, from maybe a boss, a lecturer, somebody that is close to her or not close to her, but somebody that is kind of trying to take advantage of her. But she wants to say no. That is what everything about that girl is screaming. Her voice is saying, her mind is saying no, her body is saying no, but her voice cannot say no. For whatever reason, I don't know. So how can we train our girl to that point where she will be very decisive in taking decisions that affect her?
That's beautiful. Our female children, like I was saying the other time, communication with the mother is very important. When you allow open communication between the child, this girl child and the mother, she's able to communicate virtually everything with the mother. If you teach this child good communication, it's easy for her to know when to say no and say it outrightly.
Does communication have to do with being assertive? Saying yes or saying no and owning it and meaning it?
It's all encompassing.
Okay.
When I'm talking about communication here, I mean this girl child should be educated enough to know when to talk, when to stand for her rights, and she should know that her body is her property. It's for her. Whatever concerns her, her body, it belongs to her. So whatever she doesn't want to come in, she shouldn't let it in. She should learn to set her boundaries. She should learn to know predators, people that are around her, even if they look like they are people she should respect, they are people she should honor, but that boundary of this is my body, this is me, and I don't want this. She should learn to. When the mother communicates with the girl child well enough, and she's well equipped, it's usually easy to not give in to what you don't want.
You know, sometimes or most often the time when a girl says no, people consider it as being rude. Is it possible for a girl to say no, mean it, and be polite?
Very well.
How?
It's possible to, we have various kind of words that we can use, magic words that you can use. Please, I don't want this. Please, my body, it's my privacy, and I don't want anybody going beyond this boundary. You know, there are languages that a girl child should, and as much as possible, let's teach our female children not to raise their voices. You know, in our society, got the noise, and we're used to raising voices, screaming and shouting. At the point, as long as that point in time, she's not being forced, she's not being coerced, you know, in an aggressive, violent manner or aggressive manner, she can politely refuse with a low tone, and she shouldn't be saying no, and her body language is saying yes. That's another problem that we do have. Our female children can be saying, I don't want it, but you're saying, leave me now, leave me, you know. You're already giving a go ahead with your body language, but if she's saying no, her body language should vibrate no, all right? The whole of her system should say no.
You know, from experience, from what I have seen by myself as a young girl growing up to this stage, and from what girls have related with me about, I've come to realize that being polite is not always the best thing for a girl to do, because when you say no, please I don't want this, please I don't want that, some persons will say no. You know like the
Yes.
what people talk about on the street. She's saying no.
She's pretending.
She's pretending.
Yes.
She's actually saying yes. You know, I've come to realize that say please stop it
And she
does
takes a
not
walk.
usually work.
She walk away.
I'm not an advocate of violence, but there are times where you need to
No, you teach the girl
there are
defense.
times where you need to be a little bit on that side that you don't want girls to be, maybe to raise their voice or something. A girl should raise her voice, otherwise that person who is trying to take advantage of that girl will not understand.
Somehow,
Because you're saying no, and your voice is so low. Your voice is not firm.
Okay.
Naturally, we have small voice. We should project. We should shout. What do you think about that?
We can actually be saying no and be firm without raising our voices, without screaming necessarily. But again, when an environment is not comfortable for you, the girl child should walk away. Take a walk. Flee. Look for any available avenue to leave that place, or look for another person, you know, around that environment that you can, you know, stylishly move to, that more or less like a safe haven for you at that point in time, rather than staying around that particular person that is not
That is
comfortable.
toxic to you.
In the school environment, we encourage females that are being harassed. There are some persons in that same faculty, in that same department, there are some persons that don't, you know, that are not party to things like that. Identify people like that and then walk up to them. They can come to their head, really. And when a girl child tells her mom in the house, Mom, this particular person, I don't like the advances it's making towards me, the parents can come in. Rather than, peradventure, she raises her voice and the other person raises his voice higher and creates an impression. Really, I think I had an experience like that as a younger nurse. Yes, I was in a consulting room with a doctor, you know, and somehow the doctor just got pissed off. He had made advances before and I didn't give him and all of that. But that day, I also consult with him and he got pissed off, and I just looked at him. He was screaming, he was just raising his voice, because the only thing I did at that time was just to walk away. If I had not walked away, whether I raised my voice at that time, nobody's going to believe the story I was going to tell then.
So walking away is good.
Take a walk.
Is it in every situation
Not
that
in
the
every
girl should take a
situation. If
walk?
your life is at risk, you can become violent too. But if you ask me, it has worked for me. I took a walk. The doctor was made to apologize to me later. But at that particular point in time, if I had not taken a walk, really, perhaps the doctor would have become even more violent than he was. And some patients that didn't understand what transpired we're already saying, hey, this doctor, I know this doctor is very nice. And I was new to that environment. Oh, this doctor is very nice. The nurse must be.
I can understand.
You understand? But it took my matron at that time. I'm talking about as far back as 2007.
That's a long time.
And then the matron on duty had to like come, what happened? To explain everything. She said, okay, now I understand. I was wondering,
what would have made the man go off like that?
Nothing actually happened in that consulting room that day, but he was reacting to the no.
To the no that you said.
That I said previously. And I took a walk and never consulted with him again. But today we are still best of friends. We are very good friends.
That's fantastic.
And sometimes they're like, hey, you that say you will not marry me. But was that really the case?
No.
Or wasn't it really?
Okay, let me paint another scenario.
Okay.
You know that there are times girls will do some things and they will say, I didn't want to do it. It was my friend that forced me. These are girls that are supposed to be well trained, well raised, with everything in place. But then when they now go outside the environment they are used to, you find them falling victim of their own folly. And the next thing is, my friend pushed me. I didn't want to. My friend said, how can girls overcome all of that? Because even as we speak, it is still happening. My friend pushed me. You get it? Particularly when it comes to this issue of drug use. A lot of girls are into drug use. In fact, for some of them, it is a competition. And there are some that do not want to do it. But at the end of the day, how did you come about it? My friend pushed me. My boyfriend pushed me. You know, how do we get our girls to grow past that stage, you know?
You know, one of the ways we can get our female children go past this stage is let's expose them. Let's expose them to digital information. Monitor them closely and show them some of these things and the disadvantages that comes with being involved in them. When this girl child knows very well, and then give them scenarios, can you just open your eyes and take a knife and stab yourself? And like, how will I stab myself? You know, when you give them examples like that, and you tell this girl child, that's what you do. When you go into some of these vices that you really don't want to do, you are indirectly stabbing yourself. And when you give them some of this analogy, you open them to the internet, teach them how to set boundaries from friends, you know. Once it gets to a point where this particular friend is pressurizing them to go into things that they don't want to really go into, they can talk to a significant other. Their mother, maybe in the boarding school, they can talk to their house mistress, not reporting the person, but just saying, I'm just overwhelmed. And again, whatsoever the values of our families are, let's teach our children too, our female children most especially, to imbibe them. When your female child knows that this is our family norms, this is what we believe in our families, and it's become a part of them, and you don't start it when this child is already 10, 11, 12, no. Formative years of children, generally, where they learn some of these character behaviors and habits, it's from 0 to 8 years. So if you're able to put from when the baby is in utero in the womb, you are talking to the child, you are telling the child about what you want the child to be, how you want the child to become, you know, and the child comes into life, and you continue with that affirmation, tell them who they are, make them understand what they are made up of, and as they grow older, it will really be very, very difficult.
Okay, let me take you back to that constructive and adequate and beautiful communication that you said should exist between a mother and a daughter. Do you know that there are some mothers that do not have time for their children, particularly the ones that they perceive are already grown up, can take care of themselves? You know, some mothers don't have that kind of relationship with their children. So how can a child who is being bullied, who is being troubled outside, bring such a problem to that kind of a mother who does not have time? You do a 9 to 8 job, or you run a business, you are everywhere, but not where your child is. Talk to some mothers this afternoon.
It's very painful, really very painful how some mothers are interested in giving their daughters money than spend time talking with them and having, you know, day out with them. The truth of the matter is, mothers, please and please. You know, these are daughters. These are children. They are treasures. They are investments, in short. You know, when your child is doing well and your child has peace, you will have peace in your house. Any issue, negative issue with the children has a way of distorting the house front. So it's not enough to go look for money. Oh, I paid your school fees. You know, I bought you this new dress that is coming on. I bought you this human hair and all of that. No, let's learn to communicate with our children. Let's talk with these female children. The truth of the matter is they want to hear you talk. They want you to listen. And when they talk to us, let's not be judgmental. Let's allow them talk. Listen most of the time. Let them do the talking. And from their talk, you'll be able to, you know, pick one or two things. It's not every time you're like, no, don't do it like this, do it like that. No, allow them. Give them, you know, opportunity to hear their minds, hear their opinions. Then, other times you can now sit again and address some of those issues one after the other. It's not enough to just give them money. It's not enough to buy them good clothes. No. Stay with them. And again, I want to talk to those female children that it looks like your parents or your mother is very busy. For female children like that, it's called that they are very close to their father. You can talk with your dad. And if they are not very close to their father, they may be very close to someone. Yes, I had a student that was very close to me like that. And somehow, you know, she was able to confide in me in a lot of things. You'll be wondering, this person is always carrying water can. What was inside? It's not water, female, it's drug.
Are you for real?
And there's no way the parents will know. There's no way other persons around will know. But somehow, God will always, you know, in this life, God does not leave you stranded. God will always raise somebody for you. At every point in time, when that particular female child is going through that challenge, God will always raise somebody that the person can confide in. It may not really be a family member, but somebody that is trustworthy enough for that person to you know, confide in at that particular point in time and help the person go through that particular period.
All right, I know there are some mothers that will not be able to tell their children, their female children, I want you to grow up and become like me. There are some mothers who will not dare say it because those mothers are nowhere to be found. Absolute nowhere. Now, how do we bring that girl to consciousness of the things that are going on around her, of the pressure of society, particularly this issue of sex slavery, sex trafficking? Do you know that some mothers aid and abet?
Exactly.
Fathers do, but the ratio of the number of fathers that aid and abet their children is not as much as the mothers. It's not as if they don't know what that girl is going to do. It's not as if they don't know the pains she's going to come down with. It's not as if they don't know the dangers. But would I say because of societal norms, we live in a society that celebrates money, regardless of how that money comes about. And you see this woman knowing fully well that this girl's life is going to be endangered. They still push their daughter. You not see that person. You not see that person. I don't born you. Now time for you to take care of me. You are now reversing roles. Your 16-year-old girl, your 15-year-old girl is now becoming the master of the house, and such a child cannot be talked to, cannot be advised. So how do we get mothers to know that, madam, this thing you are doing will not benefit this girl, and in the long run, you, the mother, will suffer for it?
There's something we call behavioral change model. You know, it has to do with persuading, educating, and encouraging people to, you know, imbibe new and positive characters and habits, especially as it relates to their health. So this behavioral change model, if we put it in, and it still has to do with information, let's get them informed.
Okay.
Let's bring them, let's have forums where mothers can come together, talk to themselves, not just mothers and their children, mothers to mothers, talking to themselves. You know, when a mother tells you this is how I was able to overcome this challenge, the other mother is able to learn from that and then use it for our children.
Okay, anyway, let's take this very short break now. When we come back, we'll round up. Okay, you've said so much about mother-daughter relationship. In a sentence, talk to mothers how they can instill discipline in their children, build their confidence, thereby raising a stronger generation of women.
Mothers, I want to appreciate all your efforts. Mothers, we are trying, Especially in this our present day Nigeria, it's not easy to raise, especially the female children, it's not easy at all. Sometimes your mind is not even settled that you have a female child because of the things happening around. But then I want to encourage you, please and please, love these children. Love them and talk with them. Do heart-to-heart communications with them. But that does not mean making them your friend does not mean you don't set boundaries. Okay. Set boundaries for them. Set boundaries, healthy boundaries for them, and we'll come out better for it.
All right, Aniye, thank you so much. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us on this program, Woman to Woman. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.